Now let's get into this first story. Alex Jones sat with the January 6th panel and repeatedly pleaded the fifth. Then he revealed what they asked him on his broadcast. So this is Politico's Congress minutes, and they actually break down a bit of what Alex Jones has said. They say, here's the rundown from Jones, who called the committee's questions overall pretty reasonable. Some of these things are very interesting. Jones said the January 6th committee seemed to have a lot of detailed information about him, that they displayed images of text messages he had with Wren and Cindy Chaffian, who organized a pro-Trump rally on January 5th. Both Wren and Chaffian had been subpoenaed by the committee last fall. Jones said he started to have doubts about leading a march to the Capitol when he saw the unwieldy crowd that had formed at Trump's ellipse speech. Quote, maybe we just won't do it, he said. He said he thought to himself. He said he continued, however, when Secret Service agents came and opened up the gate after he arrived at the Capitol and witnessed some of the ongoing mayhem. Jones was seen on video repeatedly attempting to steer the crowd away from police lines. No, Politico. You need to be more direct and more honest than that. Alex Jones is on video telling people to avoid the Capitol and not to go in because it's a trick and it's a trap and it's what they want you to do. Jones was actively bullhorning to de-escalate and get people away from the Capitol. That would be very important to include, but they did not. Jones said the committee asked about his contacts with Proud Boys. He said that he ate at a Hooters in Atlanta with some members. He said he didn't use Proud Boys or Oath Keepers as security. He used a prominent company. He said that January 6th, he relied on a prominent Austin-based security firm. He said the committee suggested they routinely monitor his show. He denied being aware of a December 31st broadcast in which his substitute host, Matthew Bracken, specifically suggested storming the Capitol. Wow, that's crazy. Jones also acknowledged that his co-host, Owen Schroyer, who has been charged for egging on the crowd in the restricted area of the Capitol, was facing prosecution. Jones said the charges were for a bunch of stuff he didn't do, and he falsely said Schroyer is facing years in prison. I think it's fair to say incorrectly, falsely kind of implies he was intentionally wrong. The misdemeanor charge against Schroyer carry a maximum 6-month sentence. So I'll tell you right away, the crazy thing about this is that they've got his texts. Mm-hmm. That's creepy, but obvious, right? Mm-hmm. The government's got your private information. They know what you do on your phone in your private time. And if you're not using a VPN and you're not using a Signal for encrypted stuff, just, Adam Schiff, he knows everything. It's funny. I'm sorry, real quick. Just Mark Zuckerberg knows when you poop.
Yep.
I'm willing to bet for a lot of you guys out there, Adam Schiff knows when you poop too.
Oh, gosh.
And he's going to tell Nicole Wallace about it too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to go on MSNBC. He'll leak to his friends at the Washington Post and the New York Times. There's no end for Adam Schiff here.
He's going to hold up an envelope and be like, I have documents about what time Alex Jones was pooping.
I think one of the things that bothers me here is, okay, you hear this, like they can spy on you, they can read your text messages, they have total oversight control. I hear that a lot. It's not until it becomes personal and it actually happens to you that it's like, whoa, sound the alarm. This isn't right.
Yeah, you have this happen with crime in major cities right now. You have CNN questioning whether that actually is happening. Brian Stelter did a segment on a show on Sunday. It's very similar in that the media will mock anything and everything that's happening to everyone else in the country because it's not happening to them.
Right.
They feel safe in their homes. They feel like their privacy is being protected until something happens to them. And then it's all bets off. And you would think they would change their minds, but in many cases, it doesn't.
Do you see that story from Sanjay Gupta where he wrote about going on Joe Rogan's podcast? And he said that he was scared that Joe was going to jump the table and throttle his neck.
Right. He goes in with these incredibly unreasonable expectations. It's probably because it's what Jeff Zucker and Jake Tapper and Brian Stelter told him is going to happen. They painted this caricature. And this goes to the larger point of anybody who doesn't, toe the line as part of that corporate machine. They think you're this crazy person, and they view us like zoo animals almost, that they can tap on the glass almost.
Our friend Seamus over at Freedom Tunes
made
one of the funniest videos he's ever done is about the Joe Rogan Sanjay Gupta thing, and he just plays some audio of Joe Rogan talking, and he's like, don't you think it's dangerous when a media company lies? And then it just shows Sanjay Gupta going like crying. Yeah. But then it shows Joe again, and he goes, then he specifically mentions CNN, this massive media company, and then it shows this fake like CNN with two anchors screaming and crying like and it's like, and it says on the Chiron, Joe Rogan attacks media.
Yeah,
that's literally what it is.